Hey guys, good evening, and we have Dr. P.T. Sunderam joining us again today. And today, our topic of discussion is marriage counseling really required? And you might be already aware of Mr. P.T. Sunderam. He has already counseled 25,000 plus, happy couples who had some issues, some disturbances, but with his help, he was able to, get them together again. And apart from this, he is on a mission to achieve 1 million, happy couples, through his help. That's his target. And today we also have Priya, who is the founder of Miraki. She is a ethnic designer. She makes party wear and customized designer wear for men, women, and kids. And we also have Seema, who is joining us, who is the founder of lhis social group. She's doing a lot of activities around for women. So thanks a lot, Seema and Priya, for joining us. Seema, we still can't see your video, but yeah, thanks a lot for joining in this particular show to ask a couple of questions and representing the women group or married couple groups to ask questions related common issues which couples face. We can get that answer through P.T. Sundaran sir. So over to you, P.T. Sundaran sir.
Thank you very much for giving this opportunity once again. Ravi, Seema, Priya, madam, welcome. Let us make this world a beautiful place, happy place. Let us find a better solution for this generation with our thoughts and wisdom. So I am open for that. You can ask any questions directly, indirectly from your experience. Do not talk from your experience. I don't want you to keep that because every person is having his own personal particularity. My client doesn't come from a social zone. You can understand that. If you do a training program for digital marketing or maybe sales for computer, a lot of people are there on the street. But it is very, very confidential. You might come to me. What happened? One lady came with me and there were people with rifles. I was only scared in my cabin. Then I thought she is coming for some doctor. But generally, the other doctor, McKevin, he gets the VIP client. Then I told him, madam, you come for that. No, sir, I come for you. Then she told me, do you know me? I don't know. She's a politician. I don't know. I don't know much politics about Tamil Nadu, mostly from AP. I don't know. Okay, sir, I want to know how to help me. That is all confidential. They don't want their number to be given. They don't want the number to be given. Then I give an artificial name to them. That is what is required for my clients. I have to help them out. So I am open for that. Whatever the way you want to ask, go ahead. Okay.
Okay. Priya, do you want to ask the first question?
Yeah.
That is fine. So, why is marriage counseling required for this present generation?
Oh, very good question, Priya. Very good. You have thought the started the pulse of our discussions. See, actually, generation, the word you are told, marriage, counseling for this generation. Let us dissect one by one. Okay. Generation means what? Every generation is 50 years. That's been household. Generation gap means the gap between 50 years and that guy. So you can, if you see me, I call myself, I'm younger than Ravi, I'm only 32 years old. Okay. But this is the same story I've been telling for the last 32 years. That is the reason I'm young. Okay. In this 32 plus 32 years, I've seen three generations. I was born when radio was born. My daughter was born when TV was born. My grandson is born with a mobile. So every electronic gadget is one generation. Okay. The gap between me and my father was only one step. We are all the same staircase, 12 steps. I was in one step, my father was in another step. Whereas now I am in one floor, my daughter is in another floor. Whereas if you look at my grandson, I am in Earth, he is in Mars. That is the gap. So the models which we were there are not going to work for us. Basically who is the model for any problem, we need one helper. Who is the helper? Competence. Any problem must be get there. So therefore, their friends did not have any role model. See, when I came up, when I'm on bottom, I have two great role models, either Dilip or Kapoor. I do not have anybody else. N.T. Ramarao or Nageshwar Rao. Apart from I didn't have any else, even if good, bad, I had to learn there. But now this generation, everything is mobile. Is developed are different, their thinking is different, and they are no longer willing to learn from their parents, grandparents. They want to keep everything confidential for the parents. Okay, so that is the reason I feel it is nothing but an education. Why you should go to school? Yes, you did not go to school. Why I should have a mother? You will know the value of a mother. A person who is not having a mother only can talk about the value of a mother. So a person who doesn't have an education only can. A people who has gone to Spain only will know the value of Spain. So the present generation is improving very fast. Their values are different. Therefore, they need certain help. I am not telling them to come marriage counseling. They can go to a senior generation, maybe uncle or Chinana, Nana, Taya, Mosi. They should have some model. But what actually happening is they are running in their own group. Like most of my clients are in IT group. Their friendship is only with IT segment. Non-IT segment, they don't go. So where is the reference for them to ask? Where is the reference for them to improve? That is the reason. I would say like a health checkup, physical health checkup is required for every person. Mental health checkup is also required. We are getting mentally polluted. We are in the wrong mental role models in the society. That is the reason I would say every couple should go at least for you're not improving with, I'm going backward, isn't it? If I'm not going forward, automatically I'm going back. Nobody can help you. That is the reason I feel everybody should go for that. Thank you for telling, because recently one person came with the offer of everything, and after 17 days he told me, sir, everything is disturbed. I have to come once again for reshoot. Yeah, I can understand. Yes, sir.
Priya, your next question.
Okay, you want to ask? Okay. Do you think current generation sees marriage counselor important outcome institution?
See, there are two fundamental things you have to understand. Basically, the problem is because of relationship, isn't it? Whole problem you should understand is the fundamentals of that. One is within the person who is receiving the service. Okay, a family is receiving the service and the service giver, a doctor is giving or a psychologist is giving. You look at the fundamentals. Fundamental is the relationship is having a misunderstanding. The number one fundamental, you have to define your relationship. What is a relationship for you? If you feel cheating each other is a relationship, it's okay. If you feel I want to go in one direction, wife want to go, that is a relationship, it's okay. So first of all, you have to define what type of relationship you want. If you want to enjoy yourself, you are not worried about the world, yes, that is okay. So what is the definition of relationship for that family? That is where you have to understand. Okay, you have to be clear in your own definition. The fundamental relationship definition is doing something unconditionally, okay, without expecting anything. See what your mother has done, what your mother and my mother has done. They have not expected anything from us. Am I agree? Do you agree with me? That your mother expected, that is fundamental freedom of relationship, unconditional. You are giving one way. That's all. I would always say that you deposit 10,000 rupees in a bank. The bank will not give you more than 10,000, isn't it? Can I withdraw 11,000, 12,000 in the bank? No. Same thing. First, I have to, what maybe, hi, sweetie, how are you? Very good, looking good. Your sari is very good. Everybody is hungry for recognition, appreciation. So first, you have to appreciate. That has to come naturally. Maybe sorry, maybe congratulations. Okay. That is all. I'm not talking deposit in terms of gift. Deposit in terms of your praises. Okay. Recently, a specialist has told that we always get some, these are called stimulus in our psychology language. You get five positive stimulus and one negative stimulus is okay. 5 positive impact from my wife, okay, and 1 negative impact is okay. If it is going on a reverse direction, over your house. So either appear, disappear, or your fan is coming, airplane is coming. So the point is here is, first of all, you have to define relationship. Is it unconditional relationship? This is what most of my counseling I teach them. This itself gives them 50% clarity, number one. Number two is way to go for that. Because if you look at the mental health practitioners, there are a range of people, psychiatrists. Psychiatrist is a person who does with only with medicine. He will not have, because he is so much used for every 3 minutes, he only prescribe 5 minutes prescribe. He doesn't have the patience of talking. Talk therapy nahi karta hai. He cannot talk. Okay. For hours and hours. My clients, hours or sometimes 3 hours, 4 hours I talk. So it's a talk therapy. So a counseling is different. A counseling is nothing but talk therapy. Psychotherapy is using a psychological treatment without medicine. So the family should go, what is the problem they are facing and for what they are going. If they are reading a book for psychological problem, it is only like you are charging your mobile. The moment it is discharged, it is gone. Yeah, both of them. So you should not be discharge and recharge mode. Okay. So you should go really for a help. You should know where to take the help. Nowadays, Google is there for you. You do your homework. Whether you want to go to a counselor, you have to go to a psychiatrist. Psychiatrist person who can immediately cure you with medicine, but it will relapse back. But psychologist is a person who knows psychology. Every yoga teacher is nothing but knows yoga. But yoga therapist is different. Similarly, all people, suppose you do a certification course on psychology, you go to a psychologist. You don't know how to apply psychology. So you should know whether I'm going to psychologist, I'm going to psychotherapist, or I'm going for counseling. So this before you taking anybody's help. Otherwise, many of my clients who come to me, they come and tell me, sir, I went there, he did like this, she did like this, he did like this. I told you did a wrong homework. Okay. So the reason I ask my clients to give a homework. You give me the what do you expect from me? First session is counseling session is one session is I talk to them whether I can help them or not. Second thing I ask them, what do you want from me? You give me an email. If you don't give me, I do take up the case. Because email is commitment. So the commitment required for the person who is giving the service and the person who is committed. Otherwise, what will happen after one more day will go on add more, one more officer also not doing like that. Because for them it is very easy because accountability is not there. Okay, you're not doing your homework, they're not accountable. That way you have to choose. Suppose you define what go for help. Do Google. Lot of you can help mental health, but do your homework before going with that.
Okay. Do you have another question, Priya?
So, what are the major factors for coming to marriage counseling?
Major factor, philosophically, if you ask me, we should not take birth on this world. So my mother has a role model. दुनिया में आए तो जीना ही पड़ेगा, जिंदगी जहर है तो पीना ही पड़ेगा. So you're coming to the moment you have to exist. If you don't want to come to the world. So main problem, if you say, philosophically, we don't have an answer. Major stress in life. Okay. Nobody attention that any other wife or husband. Maybe wrong friends. Okay. Wrong friends, wrong education, money. There are many reasons, but one of the reasons which I found among major couples, one of the things what actually happens is the relationship that we have fanfare and love they enter the marriage. Afterwards getting disturbed. Every time like a relationship, you look at the word relationship, there is a ship in that. A ship always is, and she cannot be on the ship. It is not going life taking the challenges. Similarly, these couple are not what we live honeymoon life. They have to start their life, they have to and they have to sing together. That is what the ship is always shaking. When the ship is always shaking, you need a guidance. You need a compass where to go. So that compass should be there. So what actually happens? Two, three major problems. One of the problems is after 5 years, what actually happens is there is no excitement in talking to each other. Okay, the communication dries down for various reasons. Maybe financial problem, or maybe for no progress, or the way the is talking is irritating for the other person, or he is having a bad habit like pornography, or he is bad to social media, which he wants to control, she can't express. Okay, or most of the cases I have seen the money problem, the commitment they made before marriage, after marriage. Before marriage, sir, he told me that before marriage, 50% of my salary will go to my mother. Now he's telling no. If sometimes, Priya, when I look from that my client's angle, I don't have an answer. The lady tells, sir, I'm a single mother, I'm a single daughter. Father has made me an engineer. My mother, father, nobody else is there. We all agreed for the terms and conditions. Now suddenly the man has changed. So where will my father go? If I be a son, what will happen? No, because I'm daughter, my husband is throwing me away. So there's always a sort of relationship fluctuations out there. We cannot say specifically this is the reason. Major is communication gap, money, and these diversions of social media. These are the three major reasons which I have come across uh, in my couples counseling.
Okay. So, Priya, do you have another question?
Yeah, mute. Yeah.
Yeah, we also have Seema with more questions.
Yes, I do have. Yes, correct. So what is the difference between counseling and mentoring?
Very good, very good. See, if suppose a person is drowning, okay, what he requires a first aid. Immediately pull him from the depth and take him to the space where he can breathe. Take him to the shore. That is counseling. Counseling is like like if you go here or there, what will happen? If I go here, it is caring. If I go there, it is caring. What should I do? He badly need an advice. My senior will upon. That counseling is mostly an advisory role. Whereas if you look at mentoring, mentoring is nothing but I take the person from there to the shore, and if you a person who's on the shore, we do the goal setting for him. Now we see a direction for him that now you have to take your career, you have to do your job, you have to do like this qualification, these organizations here. That we set goal setting for him. Okay. And for all those things, he requires a motherly guidance. If it is advisory guidance, they will not do home. Mentoring is nothing but something like a gardening model. Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. Jai Jawan is counseling. Shoot him. What do you want? This advice. Okay, take the advice and go. Jai Kisan is I have to put the seed, I have to put the water, I have to see it is sprouting into it, I have to protect it, I have to make into an orchard, I have to make it to your garden and give it back to him. Larva, pupa, and every stage I have to get the egg has to die, the larva has to die, until the butterfly is there, I have to take it. That is the reason I call the mentoring is nothing but mothering plus accountability. Accountability is homework. No homework. No. That is either most of my clients are all Telugu speaking clients from Silicon Valley. They get up in the morning and 5 a.m. They report to me on Zoom. Yeah, mostly these people are people who have gone through my filtering process. These are the people having real pain in life, real help they want. They want help because they're away from their culture. The same people when they were in India, they were about it. But once they are seen, they are seeing the worst. What may happen to my wife? What may happen to my son? What may happen to my husband? There is a reference. They go this way, what will happen? Therefore, India is the best way. Most of my clients are right, and people come pain, and only the person who is having a pain will have gain. No pain, no gain. This is where mentoring is nothing but mothering plus accountability. That is how I will define that.
Yeah, super nicely answered. Yeah, Seemaji, you have any questions?
Yeah, I would like to ask, is there any specific time duration or the thing, for example, if the couple is just engaged and means in that period also they can go for mentoring or the counseling part, what exactly you'll suggest?
No, madam. You have to understand at the period of engagement, it is something like before taking an admission to your college, you don't know what is going to happen in future. Before entering, before entering into an office, you will not know about office. You are going to get a job there. So, what type of world you are going to encounter, you do not know. So, you are going. We cannot do a guesswork. Every person we recruit and put him in organization. Every engineer who is entering into the organization, he can become the director, but he doesn't know why we become the director, because of support he gets in the long run. Okay. So here what आप जो बोल रहे हैं ना, that is called a pre-marriage counseling. Okay. That pre-marriage counseling, what at the maximum we can do is, we have basically the 9 personalities. Okay. We say according to our brain there are 9 personalities. Yeah. This 9 personalities has got 9 properties inherited from their parents. Okay. So what actually happens is, you're comfortable with your mother and father, maybe your personality, your father personality, your mother personality, but maybe 4 or 5 personalities. There is other 4 personalities you do not know how to tackle it. So when the person comes to me, suppose a girl is coming to me for pre-marriage, and both should come willingly, because it is she's going into the other person's life. So we take the personalities with which you're comfortable, maybe a mother personality, father personality, brother personality, and we also take the other families, husband's in-laws personalities, how many personalities are there. And we can tell, because your personality, you are comfortable with your brother, you can be comfortable with your father-in-law, because most personalities are same. Then mother-in-law personality आपके circuit पे नहीं है. Then I have to tell you what would be the plus and minus of the mother-in-law personality. So we help them in advance to experience their future. That is where the pre-marriage counseling is successful for me. That is where that वहाँ पे help हो सकता है. But otherwise, it is not going to. It will be available, because this, no, the young generation, you have crossed that generation. I have crossed that generation. As long as I enter a job, or I enter the marriage, invitation card is announced, I'm still a child. I'm enjoying, because now enjoyment is more, because money is more. I can spend whatever I want. I'm earning. My friends are more. So what happens? वो खाना पीना, they are in an escape. They are in a enjoyable mode.
Right.
So whatever you do, it's not going to their mind. It will be a waste of the time to go for any sort of counseling. But I would prefer that अभी जो कुंडली वगैरह बनाती है ना, at that time maybe the parents can go in for a psychologist for a pre-marriage counseling, because already more or less everything is fixed. Now we have to tell them how to give them GPS of their location. Anyhow, they have decided to come into each other's life. That is a pre-marriage counseling. And in my cases, I'm not a person to go in for divorce or against divorce, but there are people who go for second marriage or third remarriage. There also we do pre-marriage counseling. There I have seen, when you go into reflection, the lady has found that she is happy with the first partner. Okay, she has understood I am possible to have partner. I cannot go and restart the life, because he has already started a life with the other partner. That way, pre-marriage counseling will give you 80% assurance of how to confidently you tackle the problem of your life. That way, it will be useful to them. Yeah.
Okay. Can doctor help in this? Can doctors help? Or we have to just go to the specific person only? Because sometimes family doctors are there to explain some things regarding this. So that is why I just asked if doctors can help in this.
Doctors help professionally, not, because medical doctor only knows his medicine. Okay, and doctors are used to diagnosis and medicine, isn't it? They go for their own medicine and all those things. They are not trained to handle this marriage issues. They may tell out of their experience. So if you want to go
family doctors, I mean, because family doctors.
Family doctor का मतलब नहीं कि he is a person who is in touch with you. You go whenever a problem is there. अगर आप उससे बोलेंगे कि I will talk to my papa, uncle, or your जीजा जी who's 24/7 in your family, he is a better person to guide you. But we don't accept him. वो बात अलग है. Okay, family member, he is not a part of your family. You call him a name because all the family members go there. Okay. So that way, I would request you to go to a specialist who has already done some work and has produced the results. Go do your homework. And that way only you can help you, because nowadays a lot of the psychology is no more that Carl Jung psychology or dream psychology, where you talk about perceptions, aisa hota tha, aisa hota tha, your dream, no predictions. Nowadays, what I do is we call it the quantum psychology, or we call it Newtonian psychology, quantum psychology, where I would request you to kindly one small demo. Can I request any of you to do one small demo? Who's willing? Simaji or Priyaji, who's ready? Simaji, आप ready हैं? Okay.
Yeah.
Can you please just, I want, Simaji, close your eyes. And what I want you to do is very simple. Recall a painful incident of your life. थोड़ा पीछे जाइए, थोड़ा, I want, yeah. You can rest on your head, shoulder, yeah. Recall that painful incident of your life. And don't tell me, I'm not going to ask you the story. I just want you to. And I want you to think of that painful incident. Imagine that is there, a TV screen is there in front of your eyes. And in that one, keep your palm and the location of where you are seeing that imaginary picture. Okay. It should come to the camera frame. Bring it near. Very good. So this is around. Raviji, you can just make a overall. I would say the sort of observations. So Simaji's see, the mind is like a visual parameter, visual camera, auditory camera, feeling camera, smell camera, and a taste camera. So it is all getting recorded, Ravi sir, Priya madam. Are you able to see that? So now Simaji's painful experience has, once again, it has triggered the hormones. She is experiencing the pain, good or bad, and you have to take a position. See, that picture is in front of her, and it is on the left side, not on the right side, nor on the. For every picture is having a location. Okay. What is the frame of this picture, Sima? आपका audio mute है, I think. हाँ.
Round one. It's in the round.
A round
circle.
shape. For some people, a round, some people rectangle, all those things. These are certain clues we take. Picture is bright or dull?
Dull. Not
Dull.
so.
Okay. Okay. Are you able to hear any sound connected with the incident?
No, as such.
Or no sound is not there. Okay. Are you feeling unhappy or happy with this incident?
Unhappy.
Unhappy. कितना percentage unhappy है?
Quite near about 80 to 90.
80 to 90. Where is that unhappiness in your body, above your neck or below your neck?
Below my neck.
Below my neck. Okay. Can you just put a round around that space in your chest or wherever it is? What is the circle diameter? 3 inch or 4 inch would be the diameter of that? Size?
Near about 3 to 4 inches diameter.
4 inches. Okay. Is it like a solid or a liquid or a gas?
Solid one.
It is a solid. Can you call a metal or non-metal?
Metal one.
Okay, okay. So these are how your information is stored in your subconscious mind. This is called structuring the experience of the pain. Thank you, Simaji. Open your eyes. Okay, I'll tell you. Okay, open your eyes. See, I will tell you very simple formula. What we do is we call a mind programming. I'm not a psychologist here. I'm a programmer, but I have to go into the clinic to get the people. If I tell I'm a mind programmer, I'm a mentor, nobody will come to me, because India is not so educated in terms of the mentoring work. So what is the input for the, what is the system? Shrimaj, you know what is the system? Input, process, output. Right? So what is the input for your mind? Priya, what is the input?
The memories.
Memories. Memories, what does it mean? It goes through picture, it goes through sound, it goes through feeling, it goes through smell, panchendriyas. Okay. That's 5 inches goes inside, and inside you've got 3 formats: your mother format, your father format, and also in your mind you've got a role model, whom maybe your boss, maybe your uncle, whomever you love. So this goes through these 3 persons' experience. The output is an action. That is the reason most of the girls, they act like a mother or a father. Are you comfortable, Simaji? You are having a headache? Normal, no? Okay. So what actually happens is, this is where we do our thing is based on this. We don't want the client to tell her problem. We want her that she should not experience this painful experience once again. Or you get the point. If these when she thinks about that incident, and if this painful incident doesn't come, everywhere 0 is there. Okay, picture is normal, sir. Normal is normal for me. No stress for me. No pain for me. Okay, this itself is a breakthrough in psychology. That is the reason I'm getting 200% result. What I do is, you see this, we meet. We meet the diary I give to husband and wife. They sit together and every week they have to write their we meet diary. They have to spend what problems they want to solve, how to solve, what they cannot solve, they have to come back to me. If they are not doing this homework, I don't take up the client. Can I classify? See, I told you, I have classified already. Already Simaji is a sensitive lady and also a creative lady. Am I correct? Creative and imaginations run faster than her action. Because what happened in her picture format, her visual parameters are very high. It is on the right side, it is on the left side, having a picture, it's having percentage. Are you getting this? How these are all visual parameters. Logical parameters, what is sound nahi hai. That means her logic is less. Techniques are like, she's more creative. She likes variety of work. She's not happy with the status quo work. If you ask her a clerk from morning to evening, she will not work. Even if you pay 10,000, she will not work. She wants variety. You ask her to go out, go usse baat kijiye, usse kariye, telephone kijiye, wo kijiye. She is very happy because it's a basic creative personality. Are you getting the point? So there's so much clues we get from this. So these things are not available with an expert. Do you think a doctor will be doing all these things? These are all breakthroughs in the century thing. India itself has not come. This information has not come. This I invested 20 years ago. I spent lakhs of rupees to learn this, because what actually happened is, and after doing my MS counseling, after doing counseling for 1 hour, I asked the person, after 1 hour, I asked him to give me 200 rupees. I had a clinic in Hyderabad. So that lady told me, sir, what did you do, sir? What I'm talking, only you're talking, I will give you 20 rupees. Then I was only shocked. What is the use of doing that psychology, this psychology? Itne karne ke baad 20 rupees de raha hai. Then I went and asked my professor. Professor is also same. He doesn't have a client at all. He is very happy in teaching. Then I saw my senior. Senior also wrote. Every year 300 graduates are going back and jobless. 300 graduates are going jobless. Then I looked at West. In West, why every psychologist is making in dollars. Per session he is earning in 3-figure dollars. Why he is doing? Because he is earning because he knows something better than me. He knows a recipe of dosa better than me. I don't know. I have the old dosa making formula. Then I have to learn. That is how I am having still I have 2 mentors. Ron Malhotra is my mentor from Australia and Dave Gadvi is my mentor. Mentors are people who teach from their experience. They don't talk theory. India requires mentors, not trainers. Teaching is knowing. Knowing is not equal to doing. We need doing skills. Why I get result is because I make my client do and produce the result for about 30 days. They are with me for 30 days, 60 days, and 6 months. Where I make them experience, I should know why they are not able to do. So until unless there's a lot of breakthroughs there in software psychology. And now after COVID, the biggest blessing for COVID is all people have become the global village, internet village. You are in different parts of the country. I'm in different parts. As if we are neighbors, as if out of the window we are talking to each other. So similarly, as you are applying breakthroughs in technology, you should also accept breakthroughs in every field. If you go with the same old model, my mother knows better than me, my father knows better than me, still I feel more problem. Right? This parents pull this boy this side, this parents pull this girl this side. And who is the victim? Grandson is the victim. इधर जाना है तो उसको problem, उधर गया तो इधर problem. ये दादाजी के पास गए तो ये दादाजी गाली देते हैं. ये दादाजी के पास गए ये दादाजी गाली देते हैं. Who is the victim? You people are playing the game. So you have to stop. See, your duty is over. As a grandfather, your duty is over. Let them live independently. Over-parenting is number one problem I have seen. And second problem is this: every lady is having her own scar. First marriage, second marriage, rejections. Okay, some pain in their life. Emotional scars are there. She doesn't know how to come out of. This keeps on hunting them. They cannot tell anybody. That is to be removed. पहले detoxification करते हैं हम लोग. And the third one is most people know, they go into a stress zone. They cannot relate to their boss. They cannot relate to their colleague. They cannot relate to their team and office. This is the third type of problem. And fourth problem is, see, every family member is having a potential or talent. A mother knows how to identify the talent of the kid. Otherwise, she will be repeating the same mistake for the next generation. I will tell one example. One couple, they got married. And they were staying in a good apartment. And afterwards, what happened? This guy is scared. He's having a people phobia. Whenever anybody is knocking on the door, this fellow is run away at the end of the apartment. This girl was managing. She don't know why he's running away. He told, we will not live in the apartment. We'll go to some other apartment. I don't want this. She told, no, sir, it will happen like this. She told, nothing doing. We have to go. I have a better apartment where there'll be a lot of peace will be there. Then one day, this Ganesh Chatri, there, all the association people came, entered into it, and they tell about how they do the puja and they taken the chanda. So this one lady was managing coffee pilaya, chai pilaya, sab kuch kiya. She was calling her husband. Husband was not coming. Then after everything is over, she went happily to tell the husband that this is what has happened. This president is like this. They are from our village, our community, and this is what I have decided to give. This guy is crying in the room. She was scared. Kya ho gaya? Did I do something wrong? He's telling, sir, you are talking with 10 or 11 guys and you are a single lady. If something happens to you, what will I do? You're not scared of this? No, I'm in a joint family at all. They are like family members. She told, Nani, we will quit. I don't want this apartment. I don't want this neighbor. So ये इसका घर को चला गया, इसको घर के चला गया. Then after 1 month, 2 months, their friends started counseling, the relatives started counseling. What happened, friends counseling? Friend, if Priya is my friend, I will tell my friend is very good. Don't talk about my friend. I know her for the last 10 years. Okay. If you are my relative, I will tell, don't talk about her. I know she is my very good relative. So we are emotionally attaching. That is where we don't get attached. As a psychologist, I am not emotionally attached. You don't know anybody. Then what happened? These people started telling this young daughter-in-law that you have to behave husband as he hota hai. She directly talked to father-in-law on the phone and told your husband is doing all these things. To her shock, father-in-law told, itna hai, bas itna hai. For this you want to leave your husband. So what should I do? You have to manage, because I'm managing your mother-in-law for the last 25 years. Your mother-in-law is also scared of the group. She is also running away every time. So you mean to say because you are not repaired that at the mother level, it has gone to the son. If you don't repair, it will go to the grandson. So if you come for counseling, you're saving 3 generations. Okay. Trump and Robert Kiyosaki wrote a book. They tell the world will become only high class and rotten class. There will not be middle class. Because the education gap will go up. A person who can survive in the knowledge world will go up. A person who cannot survive will be there. Only 2 classes will be there. And why? If you don't update yourself as a mother, you are not updating on. If a mother university is wrong, life university is wrong. If a boss university is wrong, earning university is wrong. If a teacher university is wrong, you are completely blind throughout your life. You are blind because teacher is blind. So no other. So the responsibility or the interest the housewife is having, nobody will have. The responsibility interest the mother is having, nobody will. You cannot point out fingers to your society, school. You cannot point out finger to anybody else. We have to take our own responsibility. This is the time. That is the reason you feel Zoom is a big blessing. So many free training programs are going. We don't have time for, father doesn't have time for going and attending a training program, but he has got time for Netflix. देखने के लिए time है उसको. Mother के लिए time नहीं है training program, but TV देखने के लिए time है mother को. So I would request them kindly cut down that and you start focusing on your child. If you are not, I would say the victim is the mother. Mother can break the relationship by relationship. So that is where I see my mission is to help educate, reparent this mother, rewire, edit your heart, re-edit your heart, and rewrite your own life story. If you don't want to do this, you cannot see. Thoughts leads to feeling, feeling leads to action, action leads to result. If I have to change the result, I have to change my action. If I have to change my action, I have to change my feeling. If I have to change my feeling, I have to change my thoughts. If I have to change my thoughts, I have to read. I have to learn. Otherwise, I have to learn from my seniors. If you think that some wrong models will guide us, that will never happen. If you pray to God, my son is very good. Sir, pray, he may save you, but he will not save your son because your son doesn't know what is good and bad. He is learning so many wrong stuff by going to school. Who will check out? Unless you are as a guardian for your couple, spouse, and your kids, you cannot create a breakthrough in this.
So true.
That is it. Yes,
Priya or Seema, any questions?
I want to this. There are 3 parts of the brain here. No, आपने जब when see the first brain is called reptile brain. What is reptile brain? Reptile brain is the first brain given by nature or God. Reptile, no? Snake or a lizard or a crocodile. So if you go to a park and for crocodile, if you throw a bread, the three crocodiles will fight each other. They will tear each other, hit each other. That will they fight. Okay, but after eating the bread, they will sleep on each other. Because they are meant only for survival. Not they do not have. They have got only the survival brain. This is the brain. The survival brain. This is called the mammillary gland. Mammillary gland. What is mammillary gland? Mother's milk. Maybe a man, or maybe a monkey, or maybe a wolf or a fox. All dogs. Wherever mother's gland is, this mammillary brain is the third one. Okay. This love and affection. If you are born and love and affection, I will call them wiring and firing. What is firing? Every experience is full of wiring and firing. Every experience is called a connection here. If the experience is more the mammillary gland, okay, then he gets an affectionate personality. This is called cortex brain. Cortex brain is where creativity is more. Still, the dendrites are not fully connected. So creativity is more. That means it gets connected, and that is the reason your creativity is always something okay, something not okay. So what has happened in Seema Madam is this portion of the connection has gone very high. And this is the first 7 years of our birth. Even I would say zero, that even mother's womb also we connected, because most of the personalities are formed. Your mother comes from let us say she comes from an artistic personality. She loves dancing, she loves arts, she loves puja. The same will be transferred here. यहाँ पे जो आता है ना, ये personality is a very tough personality. Rule man, police officer, military officer, accountant, banker, no love, no affection. If the connections are done here, yes, he रहेगा. If the connections are done, full of love and affection. If the connections are more developed here, then it is full of creativity. I am not telling one will have everything. All three are there, each and every person, but one is becoming dominant. So that is where we do this by observation. We also do a lot of psychological tests. That is where first we evaluate whether you can help them or not. Once I feel, sometimes those people they have been used to tablets for a long time, thyroid problem or some menses problem or some problem. Then I will not get what I'm getting from you. She will not able to imagine. She will not able to get the parameters. So I cannot tell them. I say, so sorry, I cannot help you out because you have to go to a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychiatrist. Psychiatry is required. Medicine is required. Sometimes I refer them to psychiatrists. Sometimes psychiatrists refer to me. Sometimes we're two work together. So I cannot say only one word can different. That is where our breakthrough psychology is mind programming. We reprogram the mind and we help them out. There is nothing like a past. It has happened 5 years ago. It has happened to your mother, therefore the grandfather. Therefore, ऐसी रहेगा नहीं है. Now, how can we go from here to Delhi? Can we go from here to New York? How can we go to New York? 3-4 ways are there. We take them towards the new future, irrespective of the past. That is where our school of processing is different. Yes, sir. Can I, with your permission, I'll have tea, sir.
Please. So, any further questions, Priya and Seema? Seema ji?
Yeah, I was just asking, is there any specific, means sometimes we go with the questionnaires that we have to go for this thing, tick mark questions, na? So is there any some format that we have to go for this counseling or mentoring? So are there any tick mark questions that will give you the idea that you have to do this? Is there anything as such? Or how to choose the correct mentor?
नहीं एक क्वेश्चन वन बाय वन. सीमा जी, आपको मैं क्वेश्चनर दे दिया, आपने टिक कर लिया. Okay, 10 by 10 it is indicating that you have to go. Will you go?
Yeah, because
no, you will not go.
It is not for that thing. It is
I'm asking you. Let us see the practical purpose of that checklist. Checklist. आप चलेंगे ओके भाई 10 by 10 जब जाएंगे, मगर नहीं जाएंगे आप. क्योंकि आप में उतना दर्द नहीं है. So you will run. If I am having a toothache, will I be talking to you? No. That pain is the indicator. Yeah, I would say that. See, what I have understood that. See, I'm not telling for every problem you have to go to a counselor. Every problem you have to go to a mentor. जहाँ पे आपको life dysfunctional हो रहा है, okay, mother से एक signal आ रहा है, father से एक signal आ रहा है, it is working. Go ahead. Why do you want to go to counseling? But mother से एक signal आया, father से एक signal, husband से एक signal, your son is suffering, you are suffering, then you need a third person's help because that model is no more working.
Yeah, that is why I was asking this. Is there anything specifically we can
It
tell?
may be there. मैंने तो develop नहीं किया. I go only because I already seen after giving all the, these are all academic psychology बोलते हैं ना, हम वो नहीं बोलते भाई आपका पेन है, दर्द है तो आइए.
Nowadays the generation is much more used to, because I have a son of 24 years, so that is why I am thinking according to that.
नहीं,
So for that I asked this question.
एक बात बोलता हूँ आपको, मैं एक बोलता हूँ सी, हमारे जमाने में एक हीरो थे, उस नेम और शमी कपूर. He was asked, who are you? उन्होंने कहा गंगा मेरी माँ का नाम, बाप का नाम हिमालय, अब तुम खुद ही फैसला कर लो, मैं हूँ हिंदुस्तानी. His value system is गंगा is माँ, गंगा मेरी माँ का नाम, बाप का नाम हिमालय. You ask the same picture you take with his grand, क्या है वो पोते के साथ रणबीर का सबके साथ खाली है. Who are you? He will represent his generation. बोलेगा गूगल मेरी माँ का नाम, बाप का नाम विकिपीडिया, अब तुम खुद ही फैसला कर लो किस ट्विटर का साला. Because you are no more mother, संगीता जी. नहीं मैडम, you are no more mother. गूगल मदर है उसका फादर विकिपीडिया उसके साथ है. खराब लोग आए, रॉन्ग रोल मॉडल्स आर देयर. वो जो पोर्नोग्राफी दिखाता है वहां भागता है, जहां ये पिक्चर अच्छा है वहां भागेगा वहां. He will not, because he values. If even I am there, you are like they will be to that. We are not condemning them. They are born to rule the galaxy. अच्छा है कि उनको एक करेक्ट मेंटर मिलना है. वहीं उनके फ्रेंड में एक अच्छा फ्रेंड मिल जाए ना, nothing he will rule the world. And time is going to come. Don't waste until unless he is serious. समझ रहे आप? I don't recommend them. You go enjoy. The time is there, the pain is there. You want pain, yes, come. Sometimes what happens? They see the pain in their friend's family. And suddenly a transfer. अरे यार ये मेरे घर में हो गया तो क्या होता? Therefore he comes. So let them enjoy. So nothing is worried, but only thing I tell, pain is the super best teacher of experience. No pain, no gain. Yeah, I'm having a client. I don't know where he is. He doesn't know mother. He doesn't know father. He is from a multi-billion family, and he remembers mother, father divorced. They fought in the church, and they went off. And he doesn't know where the money is coming. And he every day cries, "I want to talk to my mother. My father is not allowing me." A person who doesn't have a mother will know the value of mother. A person who doesn't have a wife, he will know the value of wife. A person who doesn't have ex, he will only know that. So वो तड़प होना चाहिए. That is what I call it. One of the values is paschatapamu in Sanskrit. The word is that introspection is good. No introspection. What is introspection? Remelting of old characters. अरे ये अगर ऐसा कर लिया होता, ऐसा wrong हो गया, ऐसा कर लिया तो that is where the remelting of the character happens in him. So any counseling, any mentoring you do, whether you come from professional or your family grandfather or uncle does a counseling, the same thing. Ultimately, the remelting has to take place. See, what I am doing is, see, earlier grandmothers were grandfather. I come from a joint family. Yeah, I have still problem. I go to my pinning. I have my auntie. I go and ask her. I tell about all these things. See, so now what I am doing is, now these people are away from their parent. They are away from their culture. कहीं नोएडा में पैदा हुआ है, he is in Chennai. The person who was born in Hyderabad is working in Alaska. Away from parents, away from culture. So he has lost the roots. He has to identify one person who can understand his culture. Maybe in his neighbor, in his apartment, an uncle, a chacha, a chachi, a bhabhi, then only he can go back. Otherwise, by the time he understands, he wants to repair, nobody can repair him out.
Yeah. So I think the best solution, Seema and Priya, you have to go for solo trip for a month. Then the family will realize.
I'm ready.
And also Ravi should go for
Priya is ready.
Sometime. I have to ask.
I'm completely
I'm ready.
waiting for it.
Yeah.
Okay, but I agree with it. Until unless we don't see the absence of a person for a long time, then only this pain comes. So instead of complete absence, I think the solo trip is a good idea. So should be tried.
Temporary absence.
Temporary absence. I agree.
And I had people like me, who were on the run. What I do is I take my wife for some sort of a training program wherever I go, where 5 days after the training I am there in the evening I go out, and I also started a wife's day. One thing is why all my students, I was conducting training program in Bell Bharat Heavy Electric Limited in all the branches, where that is a very traditional organization. They conduct counseling training program. Many of the HR people, they are not worried. They give only technical training program. They don't take care of the welfare of their wives and children. But very few public sector, their NTPC does it, BSL does it, where every year the newly married couples are given for training for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, like a picnic. So where we share all these cases. So it's a pre-warning for them. Oh, my wife should not have, my future should not happen like this. So from there, once I did a program for, I learned this. My success comes from NLP techniques, the technology, the mind programming technology, and my concept comes from men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Thanks to John Gray, I attended his workshop. He was my mentor, and I still use that principles. And once when I was talking for about 5 years, one lady asked me, "Sir, आपने आपके wife के लिए क्या किया?" So I told some answer. Then afterward, I was not happy with that. That is, everybody is doing it. Then afterward, I thought something I should do memorable, useful. Then I talked to her. Then I hit upon an idea of wife day. Then I called all my brothers. They were in Chennai at that time. I was in Mumbai. I told them we'll have a wife's day celebration, where one day dedicated to the wife in front of your family members. Two basic requirements. One is you are 50 kilometers away in a picnic spot. Number one. Second thing is this villain is not there. Yeah. If this villain is there, life is gone. ये villain इसको laptop को remove करना है. No electronic gadget. And you have to tell in front of your family members why you love your wife. What are the plus points of your wife? Why do you love her? Similarly, wife has to tell. The whole day is thanking the woman folk. Because a woman only can give rebirth. Man cannot give rebirth. Okay. Whether psychologically or physically. So we have to thank the woman folks. See, I am seeing my grandson, my second daughter came from Bangalore, and during COVID period, I was the only guy driver, जो भी बोले पूरा age है, because now COVID period, you know how much care I had to take care, and I have become so close to my grandson that I feel I can run a big organization, but I cannot become a mother. Because up to 3 o'clock, up to 4 o'clock, a mother is awake, grandmother is awake. But every mother has been challenged. It is a rebirth. बोलते हैं ना rebirth है every mother का. That I practically I understood after seeing how my wife and my mother went through this process. So hats off to all the young mothers. Every girl is a young mother. So they have the patience. They have that whatever you call it, that patience and that resilience to come back. And that is the reason every husband has to dedicate one day in whatever the manner you want. One thing is a must, you are giving that exclusive recognition to your wife in front of your family members. Not on your alone, आपने एक बड़ा एक gift दे दिया, एक chain दे दिया, happy, not like that, happy anniversary, no. Something orally, visibly, and demonstratively in front of you, that is called wife day. Many of my students who have undergone this, they have identified, they are told their life has changed only because of this. And second thing I advise is, ये निकाल दीजिए, dining table के पास ये नहीं रहना है. If this villain is there, your life is gone. At least one day, maybe in the morning, breakfast, lunch, have your dinner together or lunch together, but one food together where this fellow is absent. If this fellow is there, it is gone. Our peace is gone because of after color. I would not say this is wrong. We should know how to do it. This should not become a master. I should become a master of this.
True.
So that these three things has helped me do this. And I also demonstrate the same thing to my couples. And I ask them to experiment. They keep on sending the email. They have rediscovered the joy in life. The biggest problem is communication between husband and wife. They don't communicate. That is the biggest problem.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. P.T. Sunderam, sir, for taking time out, and thank you, Priya and Seema, for lovely questions and representing these questions on behalf for all the couples. Because with this particular episode, if you are able to strengthen or connect one couple which are having disturbance, I think the purpose is solved. So anybody who has any issues or challenges or needs any help, feel free to connect Mr. Sunderam. We will share the contact details, and feel free to connect with him. Now you know him well, so this is the right time to connect. Don't hesitate. It's okay.
I have one question, Ravi.
Mm-hmm.
So what are the two learnings? I ask my client every time.
Priya and
What will be
Seema,
the
they're
two
the
learnings
right
from your
people to
heart? Please
answer.
start. Please take. What will be the two learnings? I'm not telling you to appreciate me. Maybe something which you like, something a different perspective.
From
Seema.
me, it is
No, from
as you
our discussion. After our discussion, what is that you learned? Two things.
as what you said, communication is must, and expressing the way of love, even not in a big thing, we don't have to go, but at least a single sentence also that gives a very different energy to just be connected with the person, our partner. So that thing what you said, these two things are much more, I think I took from you today. So thank you for that.
Thank you. प्रिया जी, आपने क्या सीखा हमारे?
Yes, definitely the same. So one thing is keeping it in heart doesn't make any difference with any relationship. So we should always talk it out and give that importance when the person is in front of you.
Yeah. Ravi ji,
Yeah.
anything new insight?
Yeah,
Because you have
solo
seen so
trip.
many,
Yeah, I will
you have
recommend
done
all
hundreds of
women to go
videos
for
and
a
all
solo
those
trip.
things you might
All
have.
all women to go on a solo trip to make their presence felt. All husbands should decide on the wife's day. This is for husbands. These are the two takeaways I've learned today.
Thank you.
I should show this video to my husband first.
ना उसका अलग तरीका है, मैं बाद में बोलता हूँ वो कैसे, मैं आपको बाद में बोलूँगा. So generally my see what actually after last point, a couple a wife will ask me for counseling. She says my husband is not coming for counseling, sir, what should I do? तो आप पहले ये कीजिए कि आप ये पहले बोलो कि don't tell your husband to come to me because you already talked. So he will suspect that you gave every information about the family. You are calling the husband to come to the doctor to brainwash him. That is what the psychology works. Okay. So यहाँ पे you have to tell him one thing is indirectly include. Don't tell him directly to come for counseling. I've seen this happening. So let it come. Let the source of initiative for counseling or this, let it come through the other person, not through you. If it is coming through you, he will suspect why suddenly Seema want to go to counseling, why she want to go to mentoring. She has done everything, because this is a wild thing. The same thing happens in every person's mind. Okay. Suddenly you go and tell your son I love you, बोल तो परेशान हो जाएगा. ये क्या इतने दिन love नहीं बोल रहा, अभी इला कुछ हो गया इसको, डैडी को कुछ हो गया sudden. Okay, so I would always tell my client, don't be in a hurry. I'm always there with you. Find a right and third party, maybe uncle, auntie. वहाँ से शुरू कीजिए आप. Don't ask your husband to come to me. Okay, or you put my video somewhere and make that as a discussion for such. I have got 700 duties. वहाँ से शुरू किया. That is where it has been successful. Because this is not, I told you, not a social zone area. This is an intimate zone area. Okay, you may have your own sister suffering, but you cannot dare enough to talk about that. So she will tell, why the hell you are coming in my life? Because ये बहुत sensitive area है. So you have to, in the good interest of the other person, see that ultimately you have to win. It is not because of putting in effort. You should also strategically work if you want a relationship. That is the formula which I have seen it is working, Ravi. That is what I want to share.
Yeah, for this condition, I had asked the question, can we take the help from the family doctor? So that was regarding this connectivity.
Family doctor से पूछिए. He may give you some clues. You tell them what actually you want. I want to go to this. मैं क्या करूँ? Maybe he can give you some tips on that.
So that was
directly
my
he
question
cannot,
regarding to this.
I was telling you, the family doctor cannot handle the case. He can give you the strategy.
Right.
और आपके mother-in-law से पूछिए. She knows better. if you are in good terms of that one. Yeah. Yes, sir. Ravi, I thank you very much. I thank you. I thank Seema ji. I thank Priya ji of all of you coming here, ask very, very valuable questions. And 1 million young couples. I'm 32 plus 32. You know that. I want you to help me in this mission directly or indirectly. None of my daughters are in this field. They don't want to come in this field. The knowledge which I have learned the last years, I have spent a lot, I have earned a lot, I have lost a lot. But this knowledge should go back to the next generation. Otherwise, one more person has to do the same digging and redigging to reinvent the wheel for another 30 years, which I don't want to. I'm looking for some people who are interested in that. And I would say only a mother can do that. And I have seen whenever my staff is a woman, my results are 100% different. When a staff is a man, he's only interested in the transaction. ये आगे पीछे बात नहीं करता है. But I have seen 2 or 3 girls who work for me. They always go beyond one level because that care, that concern, which a mother is having. So you can join my journey. Maybe you can refer a friend, or you can come as a trainer, or you can come as whatever the way you want. You feel. Think about. There are many ways of getting connected to me. If you really want to become a trainer, or if any of your person want to become a relationship expert, you're welcome for that. Okay. But I always tell my client that it is not a question of money; it's a question of time, energy, amount, and money. TEAM. Just because money is not going to solve. Time is, you may have time, but you should also have the passion to do that homework. Pain. I always look pain in my client. No pain, I don't help them out. If the pain, I go one step ahead to help them out. So that is it. So Ravi Garu, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Anything else from your
Thank
side?
Thank you, sir. So, friends, do connect with Sundaram, sir, and thanks a lot for taking time out. Special thanks to Priya and Seema, who are going on a solo trip soon. So, thank you, guys. Have a great day. So, people who are watching
So
this,
you have confirmed
Counselling.
it.
Yeah, and also people who to watch this. Thank you very much from Madhav. Thank you.